What's up, everyone? We are back on after our long hiatus of 10 minutes. But welcome into Week 5 Fantasy Football Office Hours on this Thursday afternoon. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. And joining us, special guest for Office Hours. He wanted to stick around and answer your questions, guys, is our friend Matt McCarthy on Twitter at Methodical1. For those of you who did not watch the last show, just jumping in for questions, Matt is a senior redraft analyst for Gridiron Rating, an expert ranker on Fantasy Pros, and the host of GR Weekly, and a dear friend over here at Front Yard Fantasy. We really like
and
Matt.
The man.
We keep on inviting him back on or
I'm
something.
gonna throw that in. I'm gonna throw that in there.
Yeah, I appreciate. I felt like I was imposing at first, but you're like, yeah, no, we were gonna ask you anyway. I was like, all right, cool, let's do it.
I'm glad you're on here with us. It makes it a lot easier. You know, a lot of the times, we're pretty split. So having a third party here, I think is gonna help out a lot.
Yeah. JR in here says Guillotine League, 14 teams
JR?
left. I have Mahomes, a good balanced team, and all 200 in fab left. I might be a little weak at running back. Henderson, Latavius Murray, Jamal Williams, Kenneth Gainwell, and Mark Ingram. I think he was just showing us that team. And then I'm assuming this is a different.
Definitely a little weak, but in 14-team league, it's.
Oh wait, maybe that's Javonte Williams, because then he says he's being offered Jamal Williams.
I was
I
thinking
believe.
Jamal. Yeah.
So I think same league. I think he was offered Jacobs. So Josh Jacobs, Jamal Williams, and blank for Diggs and T. Higgins. So what would that blank, that third piece, have to be to accept?
Something good, something really good, like really, really, really good. Like
what's enough to bring the value of Josh Jacobs, Jamal Williams, and blank up to Diggs and Higgins for you guys?
Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, like that's like you need like a receiver of like
Tyreek
top 12
Hill. Obviously.
well, yeah, I'd love Tyreek Hill too. Like I'm looking at like top 12 type receivers, and those are kind of guys you need to include.
What about Ridley?
Technically, yes, but
that's what right. I think maybe throw Ridley in there, and I would do it.
I would rather have the other side still. I think unless I needed running back,
which is what he needs, is what he's saying. So he's got Henderson, Murray, Williams, Gainwell, and Ingram at running back. So he's saying he wants some running back help.
It really depends on how you feel about Josh Jacobs. If you think Josh Jacobs is a top 20 running back the rest of the year, yeah, it's Ridley's a fine Mr. X in this case. How about DJ Moore?
No,
he said Gallup. So. Not Michael Gallup. No, that's not near enough.
Not Michael Gallup. Not even close.
Especially in a
like Matt said, it's got to be a top 12 wide receiver.
Yeah, like Mark, or like a good tight end. Like you need like George Kittle or Mark Andrews or Hawkinson or anything like.
Or, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, by all means, it's up to you.
I would change the structure of the trade entirely. I would try and go, if you're going to give up Diggs and Higgins, go for like an Aaron Jones, or go for some high end running back. I wouldn't feel that comfortable having Josh Jacobs and Jamal Williams. I guess it's good. They're good, more depth pieces, but like you're giving up Stephon Diggs, who's going to be a top wide receiver, and T. Higgins, who has the potential to be a high end wide receiver too.
I like that, Jail, but I do think in a 14-team league, it's going to be tough to get a deal done with those two wide receivers for an Aaron Jones. So I think I think you're gonna have to lower the running back tier you're looking at instead of Aaron Jones, but I do like that idea, JL, packaging those two receivers and just going for one stud running back instead of one of these
if
lesser
you can afford
guys.
Losing those wide receivers, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the Nick Chubb owner is panicking because they think Kareem Hunt's the lead back. You could go try that, something along those lines.
And if it's a guillotine league, that's why you can't trade for Ridley right now, right? Because he might get knocked out.
Yeah,
he has all 200 fab. I think what he needs to do is just hang out. Because that KC game this week, Buffalo's going to score like 75 points. That is the KC games have been. Yeah, that is the game of the week every week so far has been the Kansas City, whoever they're playing. And if you have all of your fab, just wait.
Oh, so you're saying don't mess with it. You got a good team, just sit for a second.
Yeah, because I forgot that it was a guillotine league part of it. So teams are going to get knocked out. He says 14 teams are left. So I guess it was like a 20-team league.
That's crazy. That's a fun league.
18-team league or something. So.
Would you guys trade Stephon Diggs and T. Higgins for Aaron Jones straight up?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I feel like you should be able to get Diggs and maybe like a less good piece than T. Higgins to be able to get, because they're both.
Do I think you could get it for less? Yeah, I think you could, but would I? Yeah, like that value is fair to me, but I think you could probably get it done for less. I think you're right.
It's probably fair value.
depends on, I guess, you're valuing Higgins the rest of the year. Because again, we're just talking about on the previous show, the amount of running backs that are like excellent are like what 6-7 guys. So like
at most,
yeah. So it depends. It's if you have he hasn't shown. I don't think he's shown us yet. We don't have his receivers here, so we don't know the full team. But if his running backs are, because outside of Henderson, the only real starter he has, it's like really the only starter he has week to week from those guys. Because Devonta Williams, we're still waiting for that. He's taken over the backfield because Melvin Gordon's been a top 12 running back.
Yeah, it's
like
it's not Devonta Williams yet.
Great,
you can't trust
question,
Devonta Williams.
Yeah, thank you, JR. We're going to move on to Breck's question now. Woods, Waddle, or Hollywood PPR? It's Hollywood for me.
Easy, Hollywood.
Matt, what do you think? Hollywood, Woods, or Waddle this week?
It's Woods, and my chuckle makes me, it shows how confident I am in that. If he doesn't do it against Seattle tonight, and we saw the very garbage, mega ultra garbage time that we just got in week 4. If he doesn't do it this week against Seattle, who's one of the worst defenses currently in points allowed, it's just not going to happen, and I will cry internally.
Woods as the last hope. I'm going Hollywood. Josh going Hollywood. John Luke, what are you doing?
I'm going Hollywood as well, but Woods isn't too far behind. I do think that Woods is going to have a good week.
Yep.
Craig says,
Squeaky mouse gets the cheese.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Yesterday?
The squeaky mouse gets the cheese. I will never talk about wheels again, just mice. Craig said, where do you all see Jameson Crowder for the rest of the year in 2 wide receiver, 1 flex PPR leagues? Probably on your bench, and then plugged into your flex spot if you need to.
Emergency start.
Yeah, I like Jameson Crowder, but he's just a flex-worthy player rest of the season in my eyes in that format.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. But in PPR, he's definitely someone you can flex in, I think.
Yeah.
Unless we drastically see his target share go down in the next couple weeks, and this past week was just a fluke.
I'll say this, as an actual like this or that guy for the rest of the season consideration. Because again, I get very strict in my rankings, and I rank very tough. Allen Robinson and Jameson Crowder are 2 spots ahead between them in my ranks this week.
Oh, no. This week.
This week, and that's because Robinson is wide receiver 42 for me.
Oh no!
Wow.
There's no, because it's really, receiver is really tough because there's so many guys that you can just say like 45 guys are a flex worthy receiver.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson's been terrible. But Jameson Crowder, we've seen be a PPR stud because he just pulls up a bunch of receptions. Now, this is what this Jets offense looks like, because this is technically the best they've looked all season in terms of personnel on the field. So this Atlanta game is going to be a big show for what Jameson Crowder can do. I think he's going to be in that 30 to 40 range rest of the season. But I don't see him breaking into like, a top 20 sort of guy. He's just a good player, not a great player.
Agreed.
Matt summed it up well.
That guy Kevin in here says someone offered me Kyler and Calvin Ridley for Lamar and Deontay Johnson PPR. Thoughts?
You don't give up the MVP.
Wait, so which side are you?
You're taking Kyler.
Yeah,
you're taking the Kyler. So he got offered the Kyler side.
Oh,
Kyler
yeah.
plus
Oh,
Calvin.
okay. Yeah. No, yeah. Then you take the MVP.
It's close enough, but yeah, I'm taking Kyler and Calvin Ridley's side, even with knowing Calvin Ridley's out. As long as you can have a decent record and you can have the wide receivers to start this week, yeah, I'm Kyler and Calvin Ridley's side.
I'm with you guys.
Yes, it's kind of a wash for me, honestly. This is
it's
very
such
close.
I will at least cop to that. I never like these deals where it's like the same positions.
Same. You're just then one team will win and one team will lose probably. Know what I mean? Someone's going to be better than the other. The trades that like can benefit both teams are the ones that I like to make the best. These are someone's going to be pissed about this trade at the end of the season. And that makes
I could see a situation where they're both all these guys are
it could
players.
Just be a wash, like JL said. You're right. Salty taco. You know what? I was about to say gross, but that's how I like my tacos, with a little extra salt. Salty Taco said, I have Chubb, Eckler, Patterson, and Zach Moss for running backs, Metcalf, Kupp, Lockett, and Marquise Brown for wide receivers. So I'm really torn on who to start in a PPR league. So Salty Taco, if you're still here, let us know how many running backs and how many wide receivers. For the time being, let's just assume 2 and 2. Just
two and one flex kind of deal.
Yep.
Maybe,
Yeah. So let's just assume that. Chubb and Eckler, in my eyes, for sure, at running back. Those are starters. And then on the wide receiver side,
I see
Kupp,
it's going to get weird.
It's Kupp, and then whoever you like better of Metcalf and Lockett this week. If you're worried about probably Metcalf. And then at the flex position, does anyone disagree with those plays for running back and wide receiver?
No, yeah, it'd be Chubb, Eckler. The best 5 are Chubb, Eckler, Patterson, Metcalf, and Cup.
So that's where I'm torn. Is I think I'm leaning Patterson, but Lockett and Marquise Brown I think have to be in conversation.
Actually, you know what?
Lockett and Patterson, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. Right
Lockett
there, right?
actually prefers straight up, but the double Seahawks is really awkward.
Yeah.
But Patterson, I do have him below Lockett now at receiver. He's a top 12 running back. He's my wide receiver 20. So that's a weird situation for sure.
So it sounds like maybe you're just like throwing Metcalf out there with Cordell Patterson and just hoping that Lockett's not the guy this week kind of deal.
That's probably your favorite way to go, because I don't know if the Seattle Rams game doesn't look like it's going to be a huge explosion from the Seattle side. So you're picking your favorite. But I think if you lock yourself into 2 players from the same game on Thursday night when they've not been consistently good on offense because they're either scoring on big plays, because I think I heard from ESPN they have less than 10 plays ran from inside the 10-yard line this year. They're either scoring big or they're busting out on drives. They have the lowest in terms of plays per game right now, like under 60. This is technically a bad offense for all intents and purposes. They've just been extremely lucky on big plays. I think
Russell Wilson's
really good, but I was worried. Was it Schottenheimer last year is why they were bad, or is it Pete Carroll? Is it the overall offense?
I think a lot of people blame Schottenheimer for that. Actually,
so you're starting Metcalf, and then because of the offense, you're not going to start Lockett as well. You're saying that's the tiebreaker for Patterson.
If they were playing like Kansas City, right, a game you knew that was going to be awesome, and you're like, all right, we're just start everyone. There's no brainer about it. Locking yourself into 2 players on the same team on a Thursday night game that you're playing a very good defense in the Rams, I think is a poor roster construction.
Yeah, I agree. Patterson there. Jail, are you putting Patterson in that flex spot, or are you putting Hollywood or Lockett?
I'm putting Hollywood. I forgot about Lockett for a second. It's
a tough question. The Salted Taco is dealing with a tough situation here.
the 2 and 2 I think are clear. So we're all agreeing Chubb, Eckler, Metcalf, Cup. It's just that last flex.
I'm starting both the Seahawks receivers.
Josh going.
I think I would too.
So the top Salty Taco, you split us with this question. Jail and Josh are going the 2 Seahawks receivers. They're putting Lockett in the flex, whereas Matt and I are going to put Patterson in the flex.
But I do understand the roster construction argument.
If you're worried about upside and not having a limited upside, if you're going against an opponent who's has a very good team, I would pivot to Marquise Brown. You can do Cordero Patterson. I prefer Brown over Patterson though.
I have a experience of this. I was playing last year in my one of my finals. The other guy had Tannehill. I had both Corey Davis and AJ Brown. And that was the game where I can't remember who they played in week 16 last year, but they completely busted out. Davis had no points and Brown had 8. And Tannehill ran for a score and threw it to, whoever the third receiver was last year. So sometimes even if you're playing against Wilson, it's not like it even works out great for you in all regards. I don't. If Seattle goes out and scores a ton tonight, you're going to look really, really smart. But if this game busts out, you're going to feel really bad about it. I feel like you lock into both guys. So pick your favorite Seahawks receiver is my best inclination on it.
I'm with you. Lark McFlorg has another question for us. PPR pick
Lark.
3.
Lark McFlorg.
Debo, CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown, Lockett, Devonta Smith, Emmanuel Sanders, Marvin Jones. Pick 3.
Oh no.
Debo's a lock for me. Debo's absolutely a lock out of these receivers for me.
You got some good receivers, Lark.
Yeah, you got a good problem right here. Matt, where are you going for the other 2?
Debo and Lamb. And Lockett's my next best.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I got very strict to my ranks, and that's my 3 guys right there. Devonta Smith, I do like. Again, I very much don't know what to think of this Carolina defense because I think they got a little exposed last week, but I think the Dallas Cowboys are a very, very strong offense. Depends what you think of Philly, because Philly's been garbage time. When you guys think of this Philly offense, it's really that's going to be a real decider there.
I think Hurts is a solid quarterback, and I think he's going to get Devonta Smith the ball. I think Devonta Smith's a great PPR option, but when we're comparing him to these other guys, it's I'm not considering him in this group of players.
I got excited with the Marquise Browns and the Devonta Smiths and even the Marvin Jones in there, but I think you guys are right. I think it's Debo, Lamb, Lockett, and it's those are the three you got to go with here. Yeah. Josh Schemmel says Alex Collins or Perine PPR.
Collins.
I want none of that Cincinnati backfield if it's not Mixon, like 0%.
Collins from Matt Jail.
I'm fine starting Samaje Perine. I would probably lean Collins though.
Lean Collins. Jeff says PPR and a flex. Corey Davis, Patterson, Marquise Brown, Devonta Smith. I've been struggling with this
Patter season, actually.
Lots of Marquise Brown.
So PPR wide receiver and a flex.
Patter season.
Probably Marquise Brown and Patterson for me.
I agree.
I got Davis by a spot over Brown.
Spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So Davis and Patterson for you, Marquise Brown and Patterson for Josh and I. Jail, what about you?
Oh, actually, no, Devonta Smith. I got Devonta Smith and Patterson. Sorry.
Oh, Devonta Smith.
Really?
Gotcha.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yes. I really like, and again, that's why I really have to ask about what the Eagles, because the one thing it's a very strange offense in terms of how they're producing their points. So it really depends if you think they're a good offense or you think they're an offense that just had to produce passing numbers because of how the games have produced. So
I think they're above average.
Okay. Next question. Josh, back again. Mike Williams, Lockett, AJ Brown, Woods, start to PPR. JL, what do you think?
Oh, I can Marquise Brown.
Definitely starting Mike Williams, and then let me pull out who's
I just got a text from a buddy saying, so let's work out something. How can I get Mike Williams? I picked him up after week 1 off the waiver wire. I think it was like $5 I spent on him or something. It was like nothing. So I'm feeling pretty good about selling him at this point, to be honest with you.
I think I'm going Williams and AJ Brown if he's playing. AJ Brown should play this week, right?
I would rather go Lockett. I would rather go Lockett over AJ Brown.
I'm currently not ranking Brown. He's in my ranks, but he's like 71 because I don't slot him in. Williams and Lockett with current information, and AJ Brown, I still don't know if I'd rank over those guys.
It's Williams and Lockett for me as well.
Unruly Drip wants to know Lance or Tannehill.
That is a tough one.
Lance going up against the Cardinals and Tannehill going up against the Jaguars.
We got to say real fast that Jimmy Garoppolo still has a chance to play, right?
Yeah.
So this could be a decision that's made for you easy.
But he didn't practice today, right?
And then we got to mention that AJ Brown, he's practicing today. And if AJ Brown doesn't play, I'm going Lance if he's playing. So there's a lot of moving parts here. If AJ Brown is in there, I lean Tannehill.
Is Julio playing? Do we have information like confirmed? Yes or no?
I don't think we do. I was trying to look for it going into the show because I was like, what's going on with Julio right now? I couldn't find anything.
I think that's a great point, Josh. This probably comes down to the Titans receivers. If they're in, or if AJ Brown or Julio's in, it's probably Tannehill. If they're both out again, I don't know that you can start Tannehill.
They're both out. Lance. I'm out on Tannehill.
Anyone disagree with that, or?
There's probably better options than Tannehill if the receivers are out and you don't want to trust Lance, because we were burned with Justin Fields a few weeks ago, so that is to be understood. I have Lance top 15 right now with Garoppolo out, but like Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, the guys I have over that, and Tyler Heineke I think is a good option as well against New Orleans.
Yeah, you could look for some of those guys on the waiver wire. Gersh makes videos, says, hi guys, thanks for doing this. Man, we hadn't even answered this question yet.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for coming in today. Trying to figure out who to start. 1 running back, 3 flex. James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Damien Williams, DeAndre Swift, CEH, and Marvin Jones. Good God, your running backs, man. Holy moly. And with all those running backs, you still got Damien Williams? You went out and got him, you madman. That running back room is insane on your team.
I like Marvin Jones.
Madman or woman.
Yeah, I like Marvin. Yeah, madman or woman on this one. Marvin Jones. You know what? I like Marvin Jones, but not compared to these backs. You're not putting him in the.
That's the thing. So it's not Damien Williams and Marvin Jones for me.
That's definitely the Aquaman to this Justice League right here. Like,
yeah, I think you're right, Josh. I like Damien Williams a lot this week, but I think James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, CEH is probably your answer. Anyone starting somebody besides those 4?
No, yeah, Robinson, Taylor, Swift, Clyde.
Yeah, same. Damien Williams is going against the Raiders. Raiders have actually been a pretty good defense against the run. So
Marvin Jones, I'm expecting a very solid week out of him this week, though. But it's tough putting him in over any of these guys.
And Josh said, "How to give you an easy one there, guys? Wanted to butter us up with an easy one before he came in with Damien Williams or Henderson PPR."
Oh, Henderson.
Henderson. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the top 12.
I was going to say we had him in must start. I think on the last list. We're starting him over most running bracks. Unruly Drip said CMC is back.
He's practicing.
Is that official? And AJ Brown is active. Said Josh. AJ Brown is active today at practice.
Practicing. That means he's probably going to be active.
And Tim with an invention idea. If someone can come up with a Band-Aid he can put on his phone that will keep his players healthy, he would really appreciate it. Until then, he's just going to wrap his phone in gauze or drown it in Neosporin and see if that works.
You're going to work on that one?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool.
I like that Josh went from trading makes fantasy fun to trading is fun on the sign behind him. Soon he'll just say trading fun.
Trading fun, Josh,
Hold on. You see the sign real fast? You can't fit trading makes fantasy fun on here.
That sounds like a loser mentality.
It sucks.
Dirty Dan is in here and has a question for us. Dirty Dan. Sup, guys? Should I trade Daryl Williams for Antonio Gibson? I'm not sure what to do.
What?
Which side of this would you guys want?
Damien Williams?
It doesn't matter.
I'm assuming he means Damien Williams.
You see this eyebrow? You see how cocked this eyebrow is?
Take Antonio Gibson and run. In my eyes.
If it's Daryl Williams, yes. If it's either, yes, but especially
trade both of them. If you have both, trade them both for Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, the Antonio Gibson side is the winner of this. You can either get a starter for 4 weeks or a starter for the entire season. I'll take Antonio Gibson. Tyler has a question. Miles, are you agreeing with that, Matt, or are you taking the Damien Williams side?
No, I'm curious as even like these things exist. I don't get these trades.
Tyler said Miles Sanders, Alex Collins, or Samaje Perine for this week. Can't make up my mind.
Now
Thanks.
that's a question.
Sanders was a guy I wanted to talk about in the previous show.
We'll talk about him.
He's tough. Okay, so I don't understand what the hell they're doing because he's got 9 carries for 2 weeks. Him and Kenneth Gainwell are like pretty much back to back for me.
Yeah,
because it's so they're not. That's my problem. They've been put into situations where they've been needing to throw in the last 2 games against Detroit and Kansas City by Simon. If Sanders is no longer in hurry up or passing game situations, I don't think Carolina's offense, if CMC is not out there, is going to just put them into mega ultra. They need to hurry up sort of offense style. But if Sanders is no longer included in passing scenarios and Gainwell is, then Gainwell is going to be the better player rest of the season if they don't care about Sanders' carry load. This is such a tough one. It's Alex Collins for me if he plays. Sanders should be the best player here, but I can't trust him right now.
It's Sanders for me.
Sanders for JL. Josh, what's that face mean? Are you frozen, I hope? I think Josh is frozen.
Damn it. I tried to screenshot.
Josh, did you see how you were frozen?
You're like, no, I didn't.
I
just came in laughing. Yeah, I was like, it's so funny.
Oh, man.
Josh, I have no idea what you were laughing about.
Which of these players are you starting?
It's a tough question. I'm starting Alex Collins.
If Alex Collins is playing, I'm starting Alex Collins.
Yeah.
By the way, Dirty Dan followed up and he said it's Daryl Henderson for Antonio.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, that's a different story.
I prefer so much more sense.
I prefer Gibson.
You prefer Gibson?
Yeah.
I do too, but it's close.
I don't know.
If you would have asked me before the season, this wouldn't have been close at all, and it would have been Gibson. But I've seen enough from both of these offenses and how they want to use Gibson.
Before the Cam Akers news.
I like him. No, even no. Yeah, before the Cam Akers news, this would have been Gibson by a mile. No, but I've soured on Gibson a bit. I still like him as a talent, just don't like his usage in that Washington offense. I'm gonna go Henderson, but it is very close.
It's super duper close. I lean Gibson actually.
So 3 Gibsons and a Henderson.
Gibson's schedule for a little bit coming up is kind of tough because New Orleans kind of sucks. Chiefs are good, Packers are good for them, Broncos are not great, and Bucks are not great. But after that, it's pretty smooth sailing. So it's like depends on what you want to do rest of the year. But I still prefer Gibson.
Yeah,
3 Gibsons. It is very close. I'm on the Henderson side, but it's so close that if I was in your position, I probably wouldn't make that trade regardless of which player I had. Those 1-for-1s are not fun for me.
Yeah, I agree. Before we get into the next question, if you're enjoying this, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We're here every single weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, playing games, talking fantasy football, and Tuesdays and Thursdays right after that, answering any questions. And Simon does his jean jacket dance.
Sometimes shirtless. Michael Brantley has a question for us. Should I start Damien Williams over CEH this week or keep CEH as his flex? He did follow up. He also has Marvin Jones as an option if you would start Marvin Jones over either of those players.
That does change.
I hate the players Marvin Jones is getting thrown in with because I think he's a very flex-worthy player. And in a lot of lineups, I would put him in. But, man, you guys have some good teams.
Yeah, he doesn't quite stack up against most of these players, in my opinion.
So you guys going Damien Williams or CEH here?
Clyde.
It's Clyde for me as well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that position, but I do like Damien Williams. I think you can have confidence starting him. I'm curious who your running backs are if these two are your flex options, because I'd be totally cool rolling out a team with these two guys as my starters. We got some more questions in here. Dennis, Stephen L, half PPR, need 3. Damien Williams, Hubbard, Gibson, Alex Collins, and Latavius Murray.
I like
so I have to start 3.
Damien Williams, Hubbard.
Not Hubbard.
Wait.
It's not Hubbard for me. It's
you
need
3 of them. Okay, gotcha.
Damien Williams, Gibson, and then it's
Collins.
It's a toss-up for me between Collins and Murray, but I'll probably go Collins.
I think I would go Damien Williams, Hubbard. God, I guess Collins. I guess Collins.
It's Williams, Gibson, Collins, but this is gonna be decided for you tonight if we know if Carson's in or out because
Gibson. I didn't even see Gibson.
Hubbard right after that, so it'd be Williams, Gibson for sure. Hubbard is only if Collins doesn't start.
That makes it super easy for me then. Gibson, Hubbard, Williams, Damien Williams.
Gibson, Hubbard, Damien Williams. I'm going Gibson, Collins, Damien Williams. So it seems like we all agree on Gibson, Damien Williams, and we got 2 Hubbards and 2 Collins.
Hubbard is going against Philly, and they have not been good against the run. So
he says he has CMC and Carson, but don't feel like playing either. If CMC plays, are you playing him?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I am. If CMC plays, I don't see a way I don't put him in my lineup.
If he practices tomorrow, then maybe.
He's practicing today.
Josh has one more question for us. Start 2, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Jacoby Myers, Odell, Patterson, Julio, Crowder, and Higgins. Wow. Now you're warming us up. You started with a couple easy ones, Josh, and now you're throwing the tricky question at us. I see you.
Josh, Matt, sneaky mom.
Matt, where are you going?
Odell and Patterson.
Josh said Odell and Patterson. Matt, where are you going?
There's a shot that this is Jacoby Myers and Cordell Patterson if Julio's not ready to roll. The problem I have with Odell right now is that they don't score touchdowns. They have 2 passing touchdowns on the season.
To Baker.
Yes, it's non-throwing shoulder. It's probably from the hit he took where he thought he'd be knocked out for a while.
That was a nasty hit.
But Jacoby Myers is a top 10 targeted receiver in the league who's currently playing Houston. I have him at 26. That's probably too low. He should probably be more like a top 24 receiver. So I'm actually going to shift him up right now. Move him ahead of Antonio Brown. Move him ahead of Robert Woods. Probably move ahead of Brandon Cooks.
Conversations. I love these conversations where like you like realize that you're like a little too low.
Well, this is fulfilling for me because I was able to do my normal Wednesday show where I cover the games. Is that I'm now doing my ranks against what my initial thoughts were. So this is probably doing a lot for me. So thanks, guys.
so which 2 guys are you going with? Sorry.
Patterson and Myers if Julio is not playing, and even if Julio is active, Jacoby Myers again has been really good without him scoring. He is probably like if Patterson didn't exist and the rookies, Jacoby Myers is probably the steal of the receiver group right now from the draft season. He's been excellent.
I think I'm going Patterson and Odell as well, Josh. I just like the volume he's been getting, even if it hasn't been good
He's going to get one of those big plays sooner or later.
Jail.
I think it happens this week.
Which 2 players are you going?
Yeah. Myers has not had a touchdown. This is wild.
In his career.
In his career,
163 targets.
Yeah, that
no
stat
touchdowns.
has just been out like all
But he's
week.
thrown 2 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah.
He's thrown 2 touchdowns.
Hey, maybe that'll change this weekend. I'm going OBJ and Patterson. OBJ is a little concerning going against the Chargers.
Yeah.
The Chargers have been one of the best, if not the best, defense at secondary against stopping receivers. So
You're right. It's concerning.
Michael's got a trade for us. Hollywood and Zach Moss for Melvin Gordon and Cortland Sutton. Which side of this trade do you guys prefer?
Hollywood and Moss.
I think so too. I want the Hollywood in that side of the trade.
Super close trade.
Sutton's probably the best player because it's Josh Gordon, right? That's
I don't know.
Gordon.
No,
I was
Gordon.
Assuming Melvin myself, but it could be Josh.
It's Josh Gordon, then you definitely won.
Yeah. If it's Melvin Gordon, I actually really like the Broncos side. Yeah, he says Broncos, so I'm assuming it's both Broncos. I like the Broncos side.
Lark McFlorg wants us to pick a defense: the Ravens versus the Colts, the Falcons versus the Jets, or the Vikings versus the Lions. I'm not picking the Falcons defense. We talked a little bit about that earlier. I can't remember if it was this one or the last one. This one's close between the other two. Probably, I don't know. Josh, where are you going?
Ravens.
Top 5 for me.
Yep.
I was between Ravens and Vikings, but then I just remembered what we talked about on the last show. The Vikings are horrible against the run. I think, and they'll continue getting exposed, I think. So I'll go Ravens as well. Exposed. JR says PPR Damien Harris, AJ Green, or Emmanuel Sanders need one.
Damien Harris. He's going to blow up this week.
Matt,
Yeah, if you don't start him here, when are you ever going to start Damien Harris, really? Right? Because the problem with the Cardinals is that like every single player on them besides Mac Williams has had like 100 yards and a touchdown in different games. It's just you can't account for when they don't have those big days. But Damien Harris, I think, is the best and safest option.
Dennis was
having negative
us.
rushing yards last week.
Dennis forgot Robert Woods. Does that change your answer at all?
Ooh, a little bit.
So we said Damien Williams and Gibson for sure. And then Josh and I said Collins. You two said Hubbard. Josh, are you starting Robert Woods over Collins?
That's close.
Does that answer your question?
Matt, you convinced me in the last show, for those not watching, and it's the argument you just made about Damien Williams too. Like, if you're not going to plug in Robert Woods in this matchup, like, when are you going to plug him in, right?
You can say that about so many players.
Yeah, but I like it here. And I think I'm going Robert Woods over Alex Collins.
Squeaky mouse.
Squeaky mouse gets the grease.
Squeaky cheese gets the piece.
I would definitely rather have Woods than Collins, but I would rather have Damien Williams and Gibson over Robert Woods.
What about Hubbard? We're talking Hubbard.
I'd rather have Hubbard over Woods. Yes.
Matt, what about you? Hubbard or Woods?
This is like a top 10 in terms of, again, touchdowns we can't account for, but like yards, this is a top 10 in yards for a situation that Seahawks have been allowing to receivers. This is, and Collins and Hubbard are right. They're literally back to back 25-26 for me. So it's Williams, Gibson, and Robert Woods.
Me too.
Yeah, I think so for me as well. Charlie said Galladay, Pittman, Pirine, Zacchaeus, Aguilar, or Cephas for flex PPR. So pick one of those players. Which of those players are you flexing? Matt, which one of those? Yep.
Galladay. Galladay's in a great spot. I love Galladay this week.
I understand Galladay for me as well.
And I understand it's going to be a little bit weird situation, which, if Shepard's active or not. And Dallas has been strong against receivers. I have a lot of faith that this Giants offense, after that big win against the Saints, the Giants are a weird team that they really get in on pressure, right? When they start picking up wins and they start feeling themselves, this is a team I think that can string along good performances. And I like this Dallas game a lot. So I'm looking at these names here, and a lot of these are not like he should not be in consideration with like 4 of the 5, the names listed here. He's a lot better than these guys.
No,
yeah,
Galladay and Pittman separate themselves, I think.
Yep, yeah, but I'm going Galladay. Dale, what are you doing?
PPR, I might go Pittman, just for volume, but they are very close. They're back to back my rankings.
Also,
Just
Mike,
let's talk about Pittman
go
real
Browns.
quick. Pittman, the last 3 weeks, 12 targets, 8 targets, 20 points,
That's
13
what I'm
points,
saying.
12 points.
Only
He's
Myers.
playing well.
Only Myers has more targets on the season without a touchdown than Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman
you could
is a
say
solid
Pittman here.
receiver. Like, I'm going Galladay because I think Pittman's going to get the
Baltimore treatment.
the good coverage. Yeah, the Marlon Humphrey treatment. The Marlon Humphrey treatment. But I'll go Galladay, but it's close. There's
a path for Indianapolis just really stinking up on Monday. Wentz has been a non-factor for that team. He's been very bad.
The ankles.
Okay, guys, let's run through a bunch of these at the end here. We got some more. I want to make sure we get to everyone's question. Eric Brewer said half PPR. I got Mike Davis, Robbie Anderson, Cortland Sutton, Albert Wilson, and P. Ryan. Got to start 2. Which 2 are you starting?
Cortland Sutton and Robbie Anderson.
Agreed.
Davis and Sutton for me currently.
Davis and Sutton. Jail, what about you?
So just pulling up their matchups real quick. Gosh, I would go Sutton and Davis.
Okay, so we got 2 Sutton and Davises and 2 Sutton and Andersons, but we all agree on Sutton, Eric, so go ahead and plug him in your lineup. Carlos Rodriguez said Trey Sermon or Mooney in flex this week. It's Mooney for me. What about you guys?
Trey Sermon for me.
Yo, I don't like the Chicago Bears offense at all right now, bro. In the passing game, I gotta go with Sermon.
Sermon. Jail, what about you?
This is super close. I'm gonna go. God, this does suck. This one sucks. I would go. Sermon's going against Arizona. It's not great. Not great, Bob. I would go Mooney.
I would
2 Moonies. Yeah, 2 Sermons.
I want it to be Mooney. I really want it to be Mooney. I want the Chicago's Bears offense to actually perform the way we want it to. Allen Robinson again is wide receiver 42 in my ranks. I like. Please prove me wrong.
That's what I want. I want to.
Michael has a question for us. PPR, McLaurin, AJ Brown, or Barkley need a wide receiver and a flex from those. Barkley and McLaurin.
Yep.
Bench
Everyone
AJ
agree?
Brown even if he's playing.
Yep.
You just can't trust him coming off the injury.
Not with those 2 other options.
They're great options. The other 2.
They are fantastic.
Alex R says trade Marquise Brown, Robert Woods, Sam Darnold for Devontae Adams.
Yes.
1 QB league? Yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah. No, I thought I read it as one of these guys. Like, which one of these players should I trade for Devontae Adams?
Yeah. No, make this trade. Yeah.
Would you make this trade in Superflex?
That's a question. That's actually a
depends on my quarterback situation. If Sam Darnold was the 3rd guy I drafted, which he probably, like in a lot of teams he's going to be, then I'm totally cool with it.
You can't. I don't want to only have 2 quarterbacks in a Superflex league.
You can go pick up. Yeah, you might have to add a quarterback in return or something. But
Darnold's stats are very not repeatable for the rest of the season. He's getting a lot of rushing work, and he's done a ton of yards to like buoy that. So like when Josh Allen has like 8 rushing touchdowns a season, he has like 400 something
Sam Darnold
yards.
Did look fast, man. He looked fast.
It's weird.
I said that on Sunday.
You kept saying
that over and over
because he did.
Just
John Fullerton wants to know Najee Harris or Deontay Johnson full PPR.
Najee Harris.
Najee.
Yep.
Easy.
Najee.
Yep, agreed with you guys there. Joey says start Woods tonight over Boyd, Marvin Jones, Cortland Sutton, or Laviska Shenault. So of those 4,
that's a question.
Woods, Boyd, Jones, Sutton, or Shenault.
Yes to all of that.
Which one are you starting? if you have to pick one, which one are you
Marvin
starting?
Jones.
Yeah, Woods over all of them. Like it's
Marvin Jones for me. But Woods is right behind Marvin Jones for me. So so it's Marvin Jones followed that much by Woods, followed that much by Sutton, followed that much by Shenault. So
that much. I think I would lean Sutton here. It's close though. Sutton and then Robert.
Sutton, Shenault, and Boyd are literally like back to back to back. But
I was gonna say Boyd is if Higgins is out, which like that's what makes this so hard. We don't know if Higgins is going to be out, but if he was, my answer would be Boyd. Like without a doubt, my answer would be Boyd if Higgins was out. But Woods jumps him if Higgins is in. So I'm probably going Woods for that reason. But Boyd is my number 2.
Avoid the uncertainty.
I'm just avoiding the uncertainty with Higgins.
Sutton moves up a little bit if Bridgewater's in because Drew Lock, I think, is terrible. So currently I have Sutton at 30 with Lock at starting. I'd still go Woods over Sutton. So he'd move up to 26 at the most. But that's where I'm
Great
at.
question, Joey.
Yeah, great question. Maria said, I have a lot of questions. Number 1, how dare you?
That's for you, JL, I think. I'm just assuming.
She just walked into this. Heavily for me.
Dennis said, after week 5, would you drop Hubbard and or Robert Woods for one of Elijah Mitchell, Trey Sermon, Jamal Williams, Jones, Chenault, so Marvin Jones, Laviska Chenault, Galladay, or Samuel?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Hubbard for Galladay.
Yeah,
Samuel.
Hubbard.
Wait,
Debo
yeah.
Samuel, or I bet that's Curtis Samuel. There's no
That's
way
gonna be
Debo
Curtis.
Samuel's on the waiver wire.
Yeah,
That's
that's gonna be
Galladay.
Curtis Samuel.
Galladay, I'm dropping Hubbard for Galladay.
I'm dropping Hubbard for Galladay right now. I'll tell you that.
Christian
I agree
McCaffrey
with
looks
you.
like he could play this week. If he's not going to play this week, then I got to assume he's going
Hubbard's
to
not a
play
rest
the
of
week
season
after.
starter no matter what, and he wasn't particularly great.
I think we all thought McCaffrey was going to be out longer than he looks like he's going to
Yeah,
be.
it said
They
4 to
didn't put him
5
on.
weeks.
They didn't put him on IR though, and IR is
You're
a
right,
3-week
yeah.
thing. So I always
still
thought 2
think-
weeks.
Yeah.
Mike has a question for us. Does Pollard have any value this week? Zeke is questionable. Or would
He
you
has
start him
value
in
every
any
I wouldn't.
format?
I don't want to start him, but he's
But you
startable.
can.
The
You can
Elliott
flex
retirement
him.
was very quick, and Elliott is back to being Ezekiel Elliott. He is fantastic. So
Yeah, I mean, if it's an emergency, Pollard's like the definition of an emergency start with Zeke in. You can start him at any given time, but you probably don't want to. Now, if Zeke goes out, whoo-wee, Pollard.
I would
season.
rather bench Pollard if I can.
Yeah. Noah says start 1, Damien Williams, Antonio Gibson, Zach Moss, Alex Collins. Gibson, right?
no one
Williams.
likes Gibson, do they? We've got a lot of Gibson, and he's right outside my top 12. I understand the Saints matchup is really not great, but Gibson's a very good player. I'm curious on this
It's
one.
Gibson. Easy Gibson there. Yeah.
Josh, another question. He said another hard one here. Start 2 PPR, wide receiver and flex.
That is
Higgins, Corey Davis, Renfro, Crowder, Marvin Jones, and P. Ryan.
tough.
Whew.
I'm start 2.
Yeah.
It's Marvin Jones and Corey Davis for me.
So we have to see
Unless
about
Higgins
Higgins'
playing,
availability
yeah.
because currently, again, he is in my ranks, but at receiver 78 because I'm not ranking him appropriately, right? But I'm gonna say if he plays Higgins,
Yep.
right,
I agree.
past him, I'm gonna go with Davis. Ew, I don't want to start Davis and Crowder, so I'm gonna go Davis and probably Marvin Jones. Yeah,
Yep. I agree. Davis and Jones, but pull out it's Davis for me. I assume it's Marvin Jones for you. You would pull out Marvin Jones for Higgins if he plays. You would
Yep.
start
Dave-
Davis and Higgins. Jail, what are
Davis
you doing?
and Jones for me.
Davis and Jones. And
You know what's up, JL. Let's go.
we got it. Joey says start Gibson at flex or start Boyd, Laviska Chenault, or Sutton.
Gibson.
Gibson. And Dennis said subscribed. I like you guys.
Hey,
we
Dennis.
like you, Dennis. Welcome
Thank
to
you,
the front
Dennis.
yard fan.
I wish we were going to be better at answering this question for you,
Yeah.
but it's Zerline. It's Zerline regardless for me.
I'm so bad at kickers. I'll leave it to our resident kicker.
I guys are only top 5.
Matt's got him freaking ranked. So he says Zerline top 5.
I have my
Lock
ranks;
it
they're
in.
pinned in my thing. I rank every position.
Marcus says
I would go Prater if anyone.
Oh,
cares to
look,
know.
there we go.
I do care, JL. I
Oh,
always
I
care
do
about
have
your
Prater. I got
kicker
Prater
opinion.
one spot. Prater 4, Zerline 5. Okay, yeah.
Oh, you got
Oh,
2
you're
top
going
5
Prater
picking
then.
options
I'm going
there,
Zerline
Steven.
still. I'm going
Wow.
Zerline still. I'm going Zerline still.
You're probably dominating your league right now.
And I'll go Z for Zerline. Man, yeah, I don't know anything about kickers. Marquise says full PPR starting Carolina DST, and I have Russell Wilson and Jalen Hurts leaning towards Russ, especially considering Hurts is playing his defense.
I never take that into account.
Same.
I'll say that. I do not care. I prefer.
Well, if anything,
my-
I'll change my defense.
Yeah, I will. That's what the way I would go about it. Jalen Hurts for me, top 7 for me personally.
It's Jalen Hurts for me, and I'm not too worried about starting both. But if you are, I think you go replace the defense and start a different defense if that's a concern for you. You can find it on the waiver wire.
I do consider it because I do think like it's one of the only situations where you're going to have one player's success is going to directly correlate to another player on your team's not success, whatever the opposite of success is.
Failure.
Yeah, there you go. Russell Wilson. So
Good job, Simon.
So just for that, I would lean towards either get a new defense or lean towards the other QB. But your decision is easy for me because I have Russell Wilson over Jalen Hurts anyway. So
I go
There we
Russell
go.
Wilson.
Unruly Drip said Dallas defense or Raiders defense this week. So the Raiders are playing the Bears. Yeah,
Raiders.
I can probably stop there. and Dallas is playing the Giants. I'm going Raiders.
Both top 10, but I go Raiders as well.
Dirty Dan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, JL.
I would maybe go. No, I would go Raiders too.
We're coming to you first with Dirty Dan's next question, JL.
I still don't
Shepherd,
trust the Cowboys defense. Sorry.
They're flashy. It's fun to watch. PPR, Shepherd, CEH, Corey Davis, or Zach Moss at flex. What are you doing here, JL?
We know for sure Sterling Shepard's playing this week.
We do not.
Are you playing him over
CEH?
CEH?
No.
I was about to say, I
didn't even get to see CEH yet. And when I read it, I was like, okay, yeah, no, it's CEH. Just one? Yeah, CEH.
CEH for me as well.
There is a possibility that Shepard is a better option just because of how
CEH. There's a possibility.
They're playing Buffalo.
You're right.
Again,
You're right.
There is a possibility. I will be going Clyde because he is the healthy player in a very, I think, the highest over-under matchup of the week. Probably, most likely.
If I had to go someone other than CEH here, it would be Corey Davis.
Yeah.
It would be Shepard for me if he starts, but then Corey Davis.
Not against Dallas.
Maria says, come on, Kelly from The Office, y'all. I got it, Maria. I got you with your quote there. And Salty Taco says, Dak or Rodgers. And thanks for the help, by the way. We got you, Salty Taco.
Great question.
We're here. Dak. We're here to answer your questions.
Dak.
Yeah, Dak.
It's Dak for me as well.
He has not thrown over 30 pass attempts, though, since week 1 because they've been so good defensively and rushing the ball. It's just been a little interesting on that one.
It might be like that again this week, but it's Dak.
Carlos wants to know, should he drop Hubbard or Sermon for Alex Collins?
Hubbard, if any of them, but I'm not super excited to do that.
It's Hubbard just because once Christian McCaffrey comes back, he's nothing, and there's a chance Sermon's something.
Yeah, and I dropped Hubbard for Collins. I went because I prefer Collins by a spot. But yeah, and he might actually be a starter for a while. We don't know what's going on with this neck situation.
That's the only thing that is really
add Collins.
Collins might not turn out to be super relevant, but the fact that he might be, that there's that upside.
Travis Homer, I think we haven't actually brought up his name because I was wondering as to who would be the guy behind Collins. And so far, when they've had other snaps, DJ Dallas has not really been in there, so Travis Homer has been the other guy. So if you missed out on Collins, but you still want to get something here, and you have a spot to just see whatever happens, pick up Travis Homer now and just sit on that. And if you can cut him after tonight, congratulations. Go ahead and do so. But we still don't technically know if Alex Collins is good. So
yeah. Unruly Drip
he was good with the Ravens. Sorry, I digress.
Flex AJ Brown or Damien Williams?
Damien Williams for me.
Yep.
Very
Damien
easy.
Williams for me.
Damien Williams.
Dennis says DSD I have Pitt, but could get New England on waivers by Friday, not only for week 5. I think I should. Do you agree?
Oh yeah.
The Patriots
Josh,
defense.
I like the way he worded this. I feel like he's trying to stump us, get us sad. He said, "How about this? Hunt or Lockett at flex?"
That is actually a really good question.
I
don't know. This is the toughest one yet. One of the toughest questions. I'm stuck.
Aha! You did it, Josh. Other Josh.
This has been a really good matchup for running backs. Has been the Chargers' defense.
That's what I was thinking.
They're like I have Hunt 18 at running back and Lockett 17 at receiver. So they're basically like to their positions. They're the same type of valued player. I think I prefer Hunt, and I'm not a Hunt guy. I've pretty constantly said I don't like him.
I think I prefer Hunt, and I am a Hunt guy. I constantly say I do like him.
I lean Lockett. Lockett has more upside. I say he has more upside, but he doesn't. They both have more upside. Hunt is safer, so I don't know. I lean Lockett still. I lean Lockett.
The narrative makes me want to go Hunt because
that's what I'm going with.
I think that they're going to have a hard time passing the ball in this game, and they might just rely on the run like they have been all season.
And even if they do pass the ball, it's probably going to be a lot of short yardage stuff if Baker's feeling that pain still, and Hunt eats at the
75-yard touchdown for Lockett.
I was going to say, but taking the narrative out of it, I think Lockett is the better play here.
So we got 2 Locketts and 2 Hunts. It is a very close. That's a tough one. You split us with that one, Josh. Dream Chasers says, yo, brothers, I'm in a pickle here and need your help, please.
I love that. I love your intro.
Damien Williams. Let's see. Damien Williams, Alex Collins, or Latavius Murray. Hunt starting at his other running back. So do you want Damien Williams, Alex Collins, or Latavius Murray?
Damien
Yeah,
Williams
not
over.
Latavius.
Yeah. Damien Williams, exactly the order you put it in. I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm going Damien Williams. Hunt for sure, plus Damien Williams are the two running backs I'm starting. Let us know if you got more questions, Dream Chasers. Welcome in. Glad to answer your questions. Tyler said, last question. No, I wanted more, Tyler. PPR, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, or Corey Davis. Leaning Chase, but they all get targets.
I don't know if Jamar Chase questions.
It's got to be Chase.
Yeah, Chase would be no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. It's Chase for me. Noah says start one. A-Rob, Zach Moss, Damien Williams, Alex Collins, JL.
Damien.
What do you think of this one? Damien?
I don't like it. It's Damien Williams for me.
Damien Williams for me.
I like that A-Rob, Allen Robinson is in this consideration.
I know.
Yeah,
he's like the Marvin Jones in reverse.
I'm taking a stand out. I'm saying Allen Robinson is a firm sit this week. I said it with Ridley last week. I had him at wide receiver 20, and I came through on that one. I'm taking a pretty bold stance on some players. Robinson's been bad. I'm going with Williams.
Damien Williams. And then JR said PPR need 2, Nyheim Hines, Zach Moss, Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore.
Oh, the Moors.
Josh, what do you think here?
It's actually probably Zach Moss for me.
We need 2.
2.
Oh, 2? Zach Moss and Rondale Moore.
Matt, do you agree with that?
When in doubt, take the players in the best games to score touchdowns, and those would be Zach Moss and Rondale Moore. Now, again, Devin Singletary can score all the points or none of the points because no running backs get any work in this game for Buffalo.
Those are the 2 options.
But these are the options you have.
Yeah, I'm just saying because Zach Moss can be nothing. He could literally be just a 0.
Oh, 100%.
And so can Rondale Moore, but Zach Moss and Rondale Moore can also both score 20 because those players are Looney Tunes. So those are the best guys though for upside.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I'll take Zach Moss against the Chiefs.
And Rondale Moore.
Oh yeah, it's
2.
Shoot, we already did this dance. Yeah, you know what? I might go Hines.
I'd dance with you any day, Jail.
Thank you.
Trey S says evening, gents. Oh man,
Evening.
Don't remind
to
me
you,
it's already
Trey.
evening. No, say afternoon. Full PPR flex. A-Rob, Galladay,
Yeah,
Chris Edmonds, or Chris Carson if he plays. Not Chris Carson.
It's Edmonds. It's an easy Edmonds.
I got tricked up a little bit because it's Chase Edmonds,
yeah,
right?
Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, okay.
Chase Edmonds. Oh yeah, I read that wrong too. Chase Edmonds is
Darrell
who I would be
Williams.
starting.
I really like Galladay in this matchup. I will say that, but Edmonds, I'm going with Galladay.
Wow, I'm surprised actually. It's
We
an
got
easy
one
Edmonds for me.
Galladay and 3
It's another one,
Edmonds.
just like the Lockett Hunt. These are 2 very close players for me. If Shepard is active, I'll take a step back on Galladay, but I'm just currently leaning that he won't be. So if Edmonds would be the option, if no Sterling Shepard.
Makes sense. Unruly Drip said, thank you guys. No problem, my man.
Thanks
We
for
love
coming in.
answering questions.
Yeah, great questions today.
And Marquise L said sub. Thank you so much, my man. And
Hey.
thank you for coming in with some questions today. Josh said, I'm playing Hunt. You guys confirmed my thoughts. I don't need a
Do
long
it.
shot with
He
Lockett.
is safer.
Hunt
He
is safe,
safer.
and I'm
Yep.
3-1. My
That
last
narrative will
question.
be fun too. We'll see if that narrative plays out. That'll be the first thing we
Do
talk
it,
about
Josh.
next week.
He's
Lamb-
definitely safer. Do it.
Lamb or Lockett? Where are you guys going?
Lamb.
Lamb or Lock?
Lamb. Everyone agrees Lamb? Okay, the next one. Schultz or Gesicki? This one's a little closer. Gesicki's been a favorite target of
Gesicki.
Jacoby Brissett, but
Oh
Schultz
no,
has been
it's
pretty
Schultz.
involved
I've been
in that
going back and
Cowboys
forth
offense.
with this all week. All week
This is
I've
a
been going
tough
back
one.
and forth with these 2. And I think I go back and forth all week, but I think I'm on the Gesicki side now.
Gesicki for me.
Is Tua been ruled out for this game? Because that matters
Yes.
a lot here.
I'm
That
almost
matters a
positive he has
lot for
been.
this.
I'm
Because
almost positive
Jacoby
he went outside.
Brissett loves tight ends,
Oh my
and
gosh.
Gesicki under with Brissett so far has been like an actual like really good start. So I'm going with Gesicki here. If Tua plays though, Gesicki evaporates apparently. So because he doesn't
Yep.
care about him. But
I'm the same as you. I was going to say the same exact thing, Matt. If Tua's playing, it's Schultz. If Tua's not playing, if it's Brissett, it's Gesicki. The Dream Chaser says Hunt takes a lot of the receiving when they trail. I think the Chargers will put up points quick.
Yeah.
He's thinking the Chargers are going to put up points, and Hunt's going to take a lot of the receiving load.
I don't know. They just played a
I was going
team.
to say I don't know.
They played Minnesota really well after a first drive touchdown from Jefferson, and then they limited them to just 7 points the rest of the game. I actually been going back and forth on how I think this Browns game plays out this week because if we're looking at a team like Minnesota, the Chargers and Minnesota line up very well in terms of personnel. So I'm actually really interested how this one plays out. The Browns could really surprise again. This defense has just played a really tough schedule, like just really good teams. So I don't know how it's going to all play out, but we'll see.
I agree with you, Matt. I think the Browns defense is a little bit underrated because of their early season schedule. Alex said Fournette or Emmanuel Sanders at flex.
Fournette's
going to be so good this week.
I say Fournette as well.
For me. It's Fournette for me. Emmanuel Sanders could score a long touchdown any game, though. But it's Fournette.
Any moment, really.
Also, thank you for the sub, Tyler, and go Browns, go Cleveland. You got at least, I won't tell you that the other two guys that are always on here are Ravens fans, but you got at least one Browns fan in here. And
keep your sub going. Yeah, Browns, sure, whatever.
Marquise says Carolina DST or Arizona DST this weekend.
Carolina probably. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, I'm going with Carolina. I don't really. Arizona is another one that's in my top 10 because I don't know what to really think about the. Actually, I currently have Arizona ranked ahead because I don't know what to do with Trey Lance.
Yeah, Carolina's
turn it over a lot.
Arizona is at the 49ers.
Because again, I still think Philly's offense is good. So
yeah,
give me Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals on this one.
Yeah, I take the Cardinals as well. I respect that defense a lot.
I'll go with the Cardinals, but it's super close.
Could be a lot of turnovers if Lance does start, which it looks like he's going to.
I'll go with the Cardinals as well. Dennis wants to know, he says, 4-0, planning for the playoffs, could offer Gibson, he's not a fan, Carson, and Ridley. Who should I try to get back? Better schedule, better outlook. Is there a running back you would try to target with 1, 2, or 3 of those players? Gibson, Carson, Ridley?
If you can trade Carson right now, do it for like equal value on what he's been throughout the season. Do it. The other two guys, I'm not really trying to trade. Ridley, you don't need a win this week, so I'm not too worried about Ridley. Gibson, if you can get a running back in the top 10, I'm fine with that.
I'm just going to say this real quick for Gibson because people are really worried about the word timeshare, right? It's a real buzzword from the preseason. On average, the starting running back last season in 2020 for a team played half of the team's snaps. Every team is in a backfield split. Every single team. Just a matter
not Derrick Henry.
It's still
Jeremy McNichols has actually been
not
used.
in a backfield split.
Every team, even Darrington Evans.
Sorry, go ahead, Matt. No, you go.
Oh no, you go.
Trying to get my Jeremy. I'll
go. Darrington Evans will be available soon as well for them. That's going to play into a situation. They also didn't have. They had to come back big in that second half against Seattle for Derrick Henry. He was that offense, and then against the Jets. They don't have their real main offensive weapons in Brown and Julio through the air, so they needed Henry to just carry the load. Every team's in a timeshare, so don't be scared off of that one game against the Giants with McKissick.
How about Alvin Kamara? I'm sorry, I digress. Don't listen to me talk anymore.
I think like Gibson plus Ridley, if you could go try to get a Kamara or something like that, that would be a great deal. Package those two players to upgrade at running back. I think you can do that. But you're looking at like the Kamara range for a player for Gibson and Ridley. Like you need to get a high level star.
Cook,
Aaron Jones, Cook. Like you could try to package some of the. I would be so cool with doing that for Austin Eckler. Gibson plus Ridley for Eckler.
I would not. I would not. No way. There's no way I could do that.
In PPR?
I couldn't give both of those guys for Eckler.
I mean, if we're doing a startup or just if we're drafting today, I'm going to take Eckler probably in the late first or second round, early second.
So he's gotten worse. Well, again, okay, it depends what you thought of him in going into 2021. So like I had him as the 6th overall pick.
I had him as 5.
Yeah. So even let's say it's first round, I still think Ridley and Gibson are both going to be probably second round. Yeah, second and third. So I wouldn't do a second and third for.
I'm with JL on this one,
and I'm with Simon. So,
and I also think Gibson and Ridley, you're selling.
That was kind of weird. It was like our arms were like connecting.
I want my pound, JL.
Oh shoot! Sorry.
This is disgusting, guys. Okay, Dennis, Josh, Marquise, Tyler, everyone who came in today with questions. JR, I don't know who else is still watching this, but we really appreciate you guys coming in and asking us questions. Noah, we are here every single day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time playing games. And then we do this 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4:15 Eastern time, doing nothing but answering questions for you while they're coming in. And then if you're still not sick of us after all of that, we've got a show on Friday at 6 p.m. on the FanDuel, YouTube, and Twitch channels, playing some more games. And then on Sunday nights, we are on FanDuel and Twitch doing our Sunday night recap as well. And guys, I want to thank Matt for joining us today for our, not just for our game show, but then he came and helped us answer your questions. He's always got great fantasy insight. He's an awesome fantasy mind, and he takes the time to dig into the stats and puts real care into his rankings. So Matt, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Listen, I appreciate you guys having me. This was a ton of fun. I love this.
Brendan just came in real fast. Don't worry about DK Metcalf.
Nope.
We're all in agreement there. I know that already.
And then Dennis, we are about to jump off, but does anyone have any defenses they're already targeting for the postseason? Like, is there anybody that stands out in your mind? Have you guys done that yet?
No, that's way too far.
I wouldn't worry about it yet.
We won't be able to answer that question well for you because none of us have really dug into that. I don't want to give you information where I'm just trying to pull it up real quick, but
and it's early, so it's tough. It's tougher to evaluate defenses because there's so many people. It's not evaluating one player's performance.
We need some more data.
Yeah, the Jets, like teams that are playing like 15, 14, their 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th opponent. We had Dolphins, Jaguars, Bucks, and Bills. The Bills and Bucks are going to be rostered no matter what, so it's just the Dolphins. And I don't think, because it's still the last game gets still shaved off. Week 18 doesn't get played, right? So it's 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so you're looking at Dolphins, Jags, and Bucks. Jags you're not going to use. So it's really the Dolphins for the first round of the playoffs because that's still the worst team in the NFL in terms of points scored. The Jets.
Yeah.
So Tyler, he said, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, my man.
Brendan, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. This is awesome.
Guys, that is it for us today. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time playing some more games. Go and follow Matt right now on Twitter at Methodical1 and check us out as well if you haven't. I'm at FYF Simon, Josh is at FYF Josh, and John Luke's at FYF John Luke. And you can find us on YouTube and Twitch at Front Yard Fantasy. Hit that subscribe button. Until tomorrow, guys, we are out of here, but we will see you then.
It really makes fantasy fun.
It does.